Hi Stampers, Cheryl O'Brien, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Australia. Like everyone else around the world, we've all had to resort to YouTube or Facebook Lives. So I've decided to come along as well, and I'm just going to show you a simple card that I got off Pinterest from Just For You, so I thank her very much for the style. But my videos are going to be a little bit different. I've looked at many and I'm just going to call them straight to the point. So that said, I'm just going to go ahead and make the card, and I hope you enjoy it. So we're using Rooted in Nature, this stamp set, which is a double stamp set that is still available through Stampin' Up. And you'll know that mine are wood, so I've had them for a fair while. And I'm also using shimmer paint, so champagne mist, and our re-inkers. So I'm just going to be colouring our shimmer paint. So this gives a gorgeous glow to the card. I'm not sure whether you can see the glow. And I'm stamping it onto our Shimmer White cardstock. Okay, we'll get started. So this one's just going to be a little bit different. I'm using Cherry Cobbler. So just going to fold the card. And I have all the papers cut out. I'll put all the sizes at the bottom of the video. Our Shimmer White cardstock. So this is what I'm going to be stamping on. So what I've done is just worked out where I'd like to stamp the images. And I'm just going to put my piece of cardstock across the middle, about where I want it. And I'm just going to do a pencil line. So then I'm going to move that up a fraction because I'm a bit lazy and I don't want to actually rub out the pencil lines. So I'm going to do that. Put that aside so I can see that I'm going to be stamping here and here. So now we're going to be using our champagne mist. So I've got very little left, so I have to use my embossing tool to get it out. So I'm just going to get some of the champagne mist out, and that's about all I'll need. And then I'm going to add some of my re-inker. So this is crushed curry, so I'm just going to add 1 drop. Then I'm going to mix it up. Look at that beautiful colour, it's just shimmering. Just mix that around, and then I'm going to use my daubers. I'm just going to take that paint off there so I don't make a mess, and I'll get our stamps. Just use your dauber and you're going to ink up. So I'm going to just stamp up the side here. And get a little bit more re-ink. And I'm going to come down the side. So while you've got extra ink in that, you can stamp onto your inside of the card, but I'll do that in a minute. So now I'm going to make another colour. And add a bit of Cajun Craze. Just 1 drop is plenty. Mix that up. Nice rich colour. We'll get our dauber. Clean off the spatula. And you can either clean your stamp, but with the gold, I'm just going to layer up. The next colour I will be cleaning off because I'm using Cherry Cobbler. And just stamp again. down the side. So now I'm going to add the bigger leaf, and I'm just going to do a little bit of each of these colours. So I'm going to pick up the lightest one first, and then add the Cajun Craze just around the edges, just slightly, just to give it a bit of a different look. Now I'm just going to stamp it in amongst this. So you've got the light and the dark. Just going to pick up a little bit more, re-ink it. And if you think it's drying, you can use the huff technique to just moisten your paint up a little bit. And I'm just going to go down the side here. So I'll just lift that and show you. So you've got your different colours, and you can see that lovely shine. And our last one, I'm bringing in Cherry Cobbler. So we're just going to make up our paints again. And Cherry Cobbler refill. Look at that beautiful colour, rich colour. I was inspired by my beautiful pistachio tree out the back that is just losing all its leaves. And I thought this would be great colouring. So now I'm just going to ink up this little stamp. Okay. So there's those. I might just do a couple more over this side. So this is just a great way to use your shimmer paints, just another way to incorporate them into your stamping. So that's that. I'm just going to put all those stamps aside for the minute. Clear my deck a bit. Okay, so now when you've got your, so it just covers up and you don't have to actually rub out the stamps, the pencil line. So now I'm going to stamp the wording. Now it's great when you have your grid paper. So I'm stamping You Are Wonderful, and I'm using the early Espresso Ink. So I've decided that being with the wood stamps, you can't always see where you're stamping. So I thought if I just add this corner down into here, I'll know where I'm stamping and where it will stamp. So I'm just inking up. The corner of my stamp is going down onto my piece of paper. So this is where the stamp will be. So I'm thinking I'll just cover it like so, just working out where it is and how far. So I think I'll just have it about there. Ink up again, and I'm just going to make sure that my stamp stays on that's where I'd mark my pencil. There you go. So I'll put that aside. Now with some extra pieces of the Shimmer White, I've done these stamps. Sorry, I just needed to grab some extra Shimmer White. So all I've done to make these little ones that I'm going to add on the side is bring back in our daubers. I'm not going to make up any more ink. And I'm just going to dauber straight onto the stamp. There should be enough shimmer paint and ink on there. And I'm just using the same technique, just running a little bit around to make them different colours. And I'm just going to stamp. bring up a little bit more of the yellow. And if it's not quite moist enough, you think, just huff on it. So you get that sort of look. So I've used my framelits to cut them out. So these are the Nature's Root framelits, and we've just used the framelits to cut around the stamps. So then I got my burn folder, and I've just worked the leaves to make them sit up a little bit. Like so. Bring my card back in, and my You're Wonderful, and I'm going to adhere that straight on. Bring it over a fraction. So now I'm just going to use these. So I'm going to put dimensionals on 1, and sorry, just here they are. A couple of dimensionals on 1 here. Doesn't want to come off. Going to add that like so, and then I'll take this one off and just add a bit of glue because it's the same height on this side. So I'm just going to add that to the card. Then I've just totally glued this piece down. So it just needs to go over the sides just a little bit. Now I've just got some twine, so some of our twine, and I've just pulled it all apart. So I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of glue in the middle here. And I'm just going to put it in under our leaves. And stick it down like that. Then just going to mount it up on Cherry Cobbler cardstock. So this is a very simple card, but it's a great way to use our shimmer paints and just add a bit of bling to your card. I'm also adding a couple of the Gilded gems. So these are in our beautiful ornate set that you can find them. So I'm just adding a couple of gems just because it's a bit of bling and adds to the shimmer. So there's the cards, just a bit different in the different colours. So I'm hoping you'll get your shimmer paints out and you'll